Hi, I'm Wade Wingler with the Indata Project at Easter Seals Crossroads in Indiana. For today's tech tip, we want to talk a little bit about a thing called a RAM mount. Now, we use a lot of iPads, this happens to be an iPad mini, for different kinds of assistive technology. And sometimes you need to be very mobile with that technology, other times you need to have it mounted to your wheelchair or a work surface or things like that. Recently we've discovered a series of mounts called the RAM mount, and this one is for my iPad mini, and it's designed to have a suction cup base here that goes onto the table in this particular situation. So I stick it on the table, I turn that lock, and now I've got a pretty solid mount there. And then it has one tension screw here in the middle with a series of ball joints that will allow me to move this whatever direction I want, lock it into place, and then when I tighten the ball joint, it'll lock the whole mount into place. Now this one has an X grip on it that's kind of nice, because what it allows me to do is squeeze these together, put my iPad mini on there, and now I've got my iPad mounted in a way that I can use. So that if I'm using an augmentative communication program, like Verbally here, or a book, or an interactive application of some kind, it'll allow me to do that and have it mounted in such a way that it's permanent.
iPad for speech.
So now the thing about RAM mount is they have a lot of different ways to mount iPads, iPhones, laptops, to everything from motorcycles to boats to wheelchairs. So I'm going to take you onto the computer here for a second and show you their website where you can see how you can kind of customize a mount, in this case for an iPad mini. And you'll see here on the RAM mount website that if you go down to Apple mounts and click there, it will allow you to go through this wizard that will help you choose the device and the equipment that you need. So under here we've got select device, and I'm going to tell it iPad mini. Then it's going to ask with or without a case. I'm going to say there's no case on the iPad mini. For the options, do you want a locking cradle or a non-locking cradle? Having the ability to lock it's really cool, but in my particular situation I want a non-locking cradle. And then it's going to ask me, do we want which kind here? The Easy Roller, the Tab Dock, or the X Grip. And I'm going to use the X Grip, which is the one that I have. And so right now it's telling me that I've got $29 worth of equipment so far. Then I got to tell it what I'm going to mount it to, and it's got airplane mounts and bicycle mounts and boats and motorcycles. I'm looking for a wheelchair mount right down here. And then it will allow me to choose the individual kind of wheelchair mount that I'm looking for, whether it's a handlebar rail mount, whether it's a yoke mount, and I can click on these items here and get a bigger picture and a description of each one so that I can get an idea of what it's going to be like when I go to mount it. So that's a way that you can get the custom version of the RAM mount that you're interested in and make sure that it fits the wheelchair or whatever it is you're trying to mount it to. So we're pretty excited about the RAM Mount Company and all the different options you have for mounting your iPads and all different kinds of cool assistive technology. So that's your tech tip for this week. I'm Wade Wingler with the Indata Project at Easter Seals Crossroads in Indiana.